Hello everyone, Mente Pratica. Today we will show you how to repair, let's say, and clean this GEBERIT built-in box, which practically has the filter and the float. Practically with the tap, let's say, full of limestone, so it doesn't close when it reaches the level and the water continues to flow, let's say from the toilet. Then to eliminate the removal of the lid, just press from the bottom up and extract to the outside. Here we paraded it here. Then you have to remove this tongue. Recessed in these two stops. Then with the Phillips screwdriver we go to remove the screws and remove the plastic frame. At this point we have to turn these two levers, one down and one up, and then we basically remove this cover doing this way. Then we have to remove the support for the two keys. They raise the two levers and pretty much just get them out of these two. You see these two handles here? Just let it come out in this way, and after that we can remove and see the two supports. See what the problem is? Why does the water level rise? And what happens after that? It rises and begins to come out of from this, let's say, red cane, which sends the water directly to the toilet, and therefore you always feel this continuous out of water never stops. So we say we have to dismantle float, which is the one I'm showing you now, and now we practically shut it down and we have to reattach it. At this point we close the supply tap, we say, of the box, and we bring down the water pull on this lever, so it practically empties. Virtually avoid the locking nut of the faucet, intercepting and slow down by pulling in this direction. That's it. Now we have to remove the float. And to do that, we have to basically lower this lever that you see here, that I'm pointing to you with my finger. Do you see this one right here? You have to lower it down and pull the float to the left. So here you see that now the float is detached. At this point, by making this movement to the float, you have to make a various movements, but slowly you can do it by going maybe a little back. The levers, you have to make them come out of the legs. But they want to let you in this other side of the box here. There you go. The float came out at this point. As you can see, both in this tray and, let's say, in various parts. The filter is very dirty with limestone residues. And we have to, with anti-scale, remove it, wear gloves because we have to touch the anti-scale to clean the floating and corrosive. Take anti-limescale and pour it in all these places where abundant way, obviously all the points, both where the float flows and where you see limestone, and obviously let it act a little with the wrench unscrew also this part of the flexible, remove the connection and send some anti-limestone in here too. If we want, we can also challenge this part, and we can go to the other, see inside here, and always let it act a little. Sand anti-scale also, let's say in this part of the filter. Sorry, it's floating because this is basically the faucet that turns the water on and off as the water level rises. This part goes to block the flow of water that comes out. When we say it's at the bottom, here the water passes. And therefore on this side limestone has certainly formed here too, which prevents the arc flow from being blocked. So we abundantly put a lot and say once even a little bit of limestone impurities have been removed. I'm going to do a first rough, let's say. Then we put anti-limescale inside this basin and leave it. We put abundantly and let it soak in such a way that it can act for a few hours, and so as to eliminate all the residues obviously at. At the end of this period, we will rinse it thoroughly in such a way as to remove the testing parts of limestone after leaving the bathroom for a few hours in the anti-limestone. At this point, we can remove the anti-limescale and rinse it well to eliminate any residue. And then we rinse it in the water, making the running water go a little bit from the hole, basically trying to move a little bit from the hole instead of tracing. Now let's reassemble this. This part we say where the piece is, where we say yes. Then we accommodate the flexible and we go to tighten it. At this point we become inflexible on the float, respecting this order, that is, the curve must be connected to the float on this side and must face upwards. In this way, a no, a slight squeeze with the Welsh. At this point, we have to reinsert the float inside the cassette, and we will do it the same way. That is the opposite of how we did it to insert it, to remove it. So we insert it this way and send it back to the right then. I'll get it back down, and I get it back, so we insert it into your sled until it clicks. Then we reconnect the faucet to the hose. In this way, and let's tighten the ring. Then with the wrench, we will tighten it here until we feel it tightened well. Let's turn the faucet back on and see if the water stays at the level. Here you see the problem is solved as the water no longer rises to the edge of the bell and therefore does not go down into the fader. After the police, let's say, he returned to nability. And we now reinsert the two pins that are used to lock the lid. Now we reassemble the support that holds the buttons, then we insert. Inside the two brackets, respectively by color, we join the two levers. And we recast it in these two slots. These two now, we reassemble the cover, making it enter the quires. Here it is. And we put the lid back on. Let's close. Two levers, and we reassemble the plastic shell, the support for the plastic shell, then with the screwdriver we tighten. Let's reassemble the button lock support. Let's reassemble the plastic cover, always do this from bottom to top. To be sure that the assembly was done correctly, let's try both the half drain and the full drain. Let's see it perfect. Perfect zero discharge, so we did a good job. Thanks so much for your attention, and looking forward to seeing you at the next tutorial. Warm greetings to everyone from mentapratica.it. Goodbye for now.